Scientists themselves
Wait,
even
wait, wait,
admit.
wait, wait,
Wait, hold
wait.
on. Hey,
Say,
Dude,
John.
come
what
on.
Scientists
scientists
them.
He's been having to
Right?
repeat
So
himself so
you
many
kept
times, dude. You're
spouting
not letting him
nonsense.
talk.
Nope. Science.
Bro, stop spouting nonsense. But like, if he like, what if he just responded to you that way? You atheist, stop spouting nonsense. Like, how would you react, man? You're not addressing what he's actually saying. You're just telling him to shut up. That is not right, man. I'm gonna come down there and do, man. Bro, I do not like people like this representing me as an atheist because then I get hate from Christians acting like, oh, you are so aggressive, you're all so angry. Yeah, I'm gonna be angry, but I'm gonna be angry at my side when they do stupid effing bullshit like this, bro. I'm telling y'all, man. Bro, y'all gonna get an elbow to the chest or something, bro. I'm telling you. Speak. I am speak. All right. Hey y'all, howdy y'all. This is Rayne, coming at y'all once again live from the world of the internet. You know, we live in this ever shrinking little world of the internet that once used to be, but we're here, we're still alive, and we're gonna be doing this video reaction here to Warrior for God. This video that I started watching a couple minutes ago. I only got 8 minutes into it, but I just had to react to it because this is video is atheist and Christian conversation. Um, and I started watching it because I've been looking at this channel and you know I've been wanting to have a conversation with them and maybe share some views. And I come to stumble upon this video where he has a conversation with this atheist guy, and this atheist guy was kind of being rude and I ain't like the way he was representing my side. It was kind of wild. So I like 8 minutes in, I had to rewind and start this reaction video because man, that was crazy. So let me just check to make sure everything's going right now. Hold on. Let me just check that I got that whole OBS thing recording. Let me see. Yeah, we recording. All right, and yep, everything looks nice. All right, so now we're gonna start this reaction video, and
Right? Got
let's
the
see what's
stream
going on.
started. So God bless, brother. Thank you for joining in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Welcome.
Let me skip
Is it
ahead a
Yep,
little
just us
bit.
appreciate you
or
joining in. This is just more of a civilized conversation, if that makes sense. Some interesting points in my comment
Yeah,
section.
yeah,
Made a few interesting points, and I think we should address them. Mentioned our the lies we inherited from our ancestors. Could you mind elaborating on that one?
sure? Like every religious thing that people make believe about, that's all stuff that we like inherited from our uninformed ancestors.
But my question is, here's two things I want to ask you. The first one is, how can we call it make believe if we're not for sure? And second, what makes you doubt the credibility of our quote unquote ancient ancestors?
Okay, well let's start. You're obviously a Christian.
Yep.
What's
All right, guys. So I just gotta stop it right there real quick because the Christian warrior for God had asked him a pretty direct question there. The guy saying, "Hey, you guys believe the religious people? They just believe in things that have been passed down from their ancestors from generation to generation." And he just kind of throws in the assumption there that because they have been passed down, that they're from the past, that they're false, that they're wrong. And the Christian guy, warrior for God, he politely asks him a question right back, asking about if I think if he worded it that if they're not sure, then how can they say it's make believe? But the point is that the atheist guy there had an opportunity to explain why he believes that the religious beliefs are wrong, but instead he just moves on to ask him about if he's a Christian or not. And I just want to like kind of keep that in mind right there this moment because this guy later gets really anal about the Christian not answering his question, even though he literally keeps interrupting him over and over again. So let's keep watching this video because I'm telling y'all, this is crazy.
start with the Bible. Okay,
Cool.
why why do we attribute things to the God and say that they're true if they're obviously not true?
Could you elaborate?
Obviously not true. I mean, what's obvious to you might not be obvious to somebody else. You know, there are a lot of things that Christians believe that are so plainly obvious that we as atheists disagree with, and you know that's kind of like pretty. You know, already from the start. kind of a very presumptuous way, and he might have more nuanced views on this issue, but just the way he is speaking, kind of is just like, hey, case closed. Anything you say, like wrong, wrong, wrong. And so let's see, let's proceed. Hold on, what? I'm downloading it. Whatever.
Elaborate on
This is
things
a
that
pretty good
aren't
video.
true that
I
we
don't mind
attributed
downloading.
to God, the God of the
Okay.
Bible.
Yeah. Like, okay, where does sin come from? From Adam and Eve, right?
Right?
Okay. We know for a fact that Adam and Eve cannot have happened. Like, it did not happen.
Why so?
It's genetics. Do you
Genetics?
know that genetics do you know that genetics and the Adam and Eve narrative are like
Doo doo
mutually
doo doo doo.
exclusive propositions? They can't.
Right?
You can't have it both ways.
True. So here's what's interesting that I want to keep
Okay,
in mind.
wait.
Oh,
Hold on a
okay.
second. Hold on one
Right?
second. Okay, we
Right?
can't have it both ways,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Giggity.
Right? Right?
So which one gets thrown out? The one that we know
The
for a
hell?
fact is real, being
But
genetics,
watch, but watch.
and the other one is a story from an old storybook.
Hmm. Why should we throw any of them out?
Well, because you cannot have it both ways.
Right. We
Either
can't, but
genetics is real, right?
uh-huh.
Either genetics is real
Yeah.
or Adam and Eve is a possibility.
Well, here's something to keep in mind.
Hmm.
The whole Genesis narrative, the whole narrative, Adam and Eve, all of that,
Uh-huh.
the whole point of that story, how it shows us where we come from. Now, I want you to think about this. You know what else may contradict science?
No, 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 no.
Like, no,
What
genetics.
what
Like,
Hmm.
are you doing?
things, like,
What are you
my
doing?
point is,
See,
What
he's being so
stop.
polite.
Stop. What are you doing?
What the fuck you mean? What
Address
he
the
doing? He's
point
answering
that
your
I've made.
question.
yep,
He,
excuse
he's
me, Mr. John Mock,
he's
I would like you
answering
to
your
give me a
question.
chance to explain to you. So, Adam and Eve and genetics, right? The
Are
point that
mutually
I'm trying to
exclusive.
the point I'm trying to make is the Genesis narrative itself
Why are you
is not
running
a
your mouth?
Bro,
science. I'm not, excuse me,
Stop.
could you,
Yes,
right.
you are. You're
So
running.
the
running.
Genesis
You
narrative,
He's
cannot
trying to.
have
How's
it
he running?
both ways.
right. But Mr. John Mock, I want to ask you something. Could you please let me have a chance to make my point
Look how
with
polite he
any
is.
Will
non-interruptions?
you address the point that I've
Yes, I'm
made?
addressing the point that you made, but you need to
Yeah,
hear
he
me out
was.
first. We
You
need
need
to
to
be
listen.
Why
rational
aren't
and
you answering
civilized
the
about this.
question then?
I am, but you
Then
haven't
why
even got
aren't
me a
you
chance to
answering? You're
finish.
not.
Let me
You're not
give me a
answering
chance.
the question.
Right.
My
Your question
question
was, how does
was
Jeanette? Right. Give me your question.
Yo, it's crazy because you can just see like the difference in attitudes here and the way that they talk to each other. He's like he starts explaining and he's like saying he's talking about how I don't remember. He was talking about he's explaining it and the guy's like stop, stop. What are you doing? And it's like he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, like I'm just trying to explain the answer to the question." He's like, "No, no, stop, stop. You're running." And it's like, "Bro, relax, man. He's trying to answer your question. You barely have even given him any opportunity to talk. We're like 4 minutes into the video, and this guy's like talking to him like he's a like an effing dog or something, and it's just not right. So let's
Again.
continue
no.
and see what else goes on.
My question was which one do we throw away? Demonstrable reality or the story from an old storybook?
Can you tell me why we have to throw any of them away?
Because they are mutually exclusive propositions and you cannot have it both ways.
But here's the problem I'm having.
Well, gotta fix my
So
hat.
the Bible is not real.
So based on what? Because wait, hold on, let me give a chance to
Genetics
speak.
is
The Bible is not real. I mean, there's a real Bible. Like I can show it to you. Give me a second. I'll get it real quick. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Where's the Bible? I have to have a Bible in here somewhere. All right, guys, I got it. Hold on. Whoa, here it is. Here it is. Hold on, hold on, hold on. He said the Bible. Like, what did he say? Let me go back. Let me go back. Let's see.
But here's the problem I'm having.
So
Wait,
the
hold on.
Bible is not real.
So
The Bible is not real. Bro, you gotta be careful with your words. Hold on, here. Okay. He said the Bible is not real. Bro, you gotta be careful with your words, because I got two of them right here. Here, let me show you. This ain't a Bible, but this is Apocalypsis se acerca la magnífica culminación. It's a religious, really cool religious book about the end times here and what Christians believe about the end times. They got really nice pictures there. Got some pictures in the back here. Look at the cool little the cool little dragon, the multi-headed dragon lion demon beast thing. Multi-headed dragon demon beast thing is on those pages right now, and I can tell you this book is real. And this La Biblia para principiantes, the beginner's Bible, both in English and Spanish, is also real. Look, it's got real pictures right there. Well, I'm over here blasting my voice into the mic, but it got real pictures right there. Look, it got it got it got what does it say? It introduces children to stories and characters of the Bible. Look, I think they even got this animated. Look, so you're telling me that ain't real? Nah, bro. You what you mean is that certain stories in the Bible are not completely real, according to your views, right? And but certainly there are many things in the Bible that are true when it comes to historical events that happened. It might not all be completely exactly how it happened, but there are definitely historical events that correlate with what is described in the Bible. And there are also moral stories that hold true in the metaphysical concentrate of the whatever thing that Jordan Peterson says. We got things like that are also true in the Bible about respecting your elders, or not necessarily respecting your elders, but bringing honor to your family and all that stuff. So there are truths within the Bible in both the literal and the moral sense that you got to be more careful when you're talking about that kind of stuff. You can't just completely throw it away, discount it just because you don't like it. You know, you got to kind of be a little bit more fair in your criticism.
based on what? Because wait, hold on, let me give a chance to
Genetics
speak. Wait,
disproves. Do you
right?
not get it?
I do, but if you give me a
Genetics
Bro,
chance to explain,
precludes the Bible being true.
right.
So
So
why
my
are
point
we
is,
worried about the God?
what is the Bible?
Claim.
Yeah, but what is it?
It's a book.
Is it a scientific textbook?
It
I
doesn't
mean,
matter.
does this
The
But
look?
it
the
does because the
claims
Bible
made,
itself, excuse me, the Bible itself is not a scientific textbook. My point is,
obviously not.
okay, can a human being
Are
walk
the
on water?
things
I want you to answer
are
this
the
question.
things in the Bible the things that we are supposed to be attributing to the God?
Yes. But what I'm
Well,
saying, if
if
you hear
the
me out,
things
Mr. John
if
Mock, hey,
the
excuse me,
things
bro,
if
let hear me out.
the
Let
Bro,
me
things
listen. Okay, you
I'm
have
gonna
to give
ask
me
this
John Mock.
question.
You have to
see,
give me a chance to speak. You have to give
No,
me a chance. Yeah, yes, we do. That's not
no,
that
I
you got.
don't.
This is you don't. This is really civilized. I expect a civilized conversation, but this is just
yeah.
really
The
arrogant.
way a civilized conversation works is
Here's
that
a
when one
civilized
asks a
conversation,
question,
because
one
okay,
expects an answer.
what you're
So
doing
That's
which
is
true.
you're
one do we
making
throw away?
points. John Mock,
Well,
you're
No,
making
yeah, actually, that is true. He's got a point that when one asks a question, you expect an answer, but Mr. John Locke here has already violated that basic principle of social conversation. You know, Mr. Warrior for God asked a question at the very beginning of the video, asking him about why he thinks that the religious things from the past are to be distrusted, and he could have given an answer, and he does give an answer in the way of that he believes that the Bible is incompatible with science because of the story of Adam and Eve. And you know, in my conversations and in my studies and inquiries into religious views, that can be a very tricky one because hold on, I need to burp. There we go. my look into the religious studies has shown that Christians have a varied view when it comes to the origin story, and I think that it's even possible that the original writers of that story intended it to be metaphorical. A lot of people, well, partially metaphorical, partially literal. It's kind of like how people ask if people believed in the Norse gods and stuff like that. Well, they represent qualities of human nature and their values that they had at the time, and those things are real. Whether they think that they're a literal being that manifests in a physical form, some people did, some people didn't. I mean, I imagine that it was probably similar to Christianity in the sense that some people believe that the stories are absolutely literal, whereas they can say, "Hey, the demon wolf Fenrir that grows larger and larger every day can be a representation for aspects of nature and reality that cannot be contained. That people like the gods and even virtuous people like Thor, gods, all those people that have their human skills, they are the literal embodiment of wisdom and valor, and even they can't contain this feral beast. I think that it's more of a spiritual emotional myth that speaks to the truth of more of the human condition through a story form as opposed to a literal belief in that there's some wolf somewhere that's gonna break free from a leash, and I think the Adam and Eve story by a lot of Christians is viewed in a similar way where a lot of them believe that it's literal, and they disagree on a lot of aspects of it when it comes to it. They might disagree whether the snake was actually Satan himself or just another animal within the creation. But there are many Christians that believe that, and my interpretation would be that the ancient people believe that this was a mythical story, similar to the story of Fenrir the wolf. It's a story about humans losing their innocence, their ignorance, their bliss of ignorance. They don't know that they're naked, and the moment they realize that they're naked, they gotta cover up, because they don't want to be seeing those things. So I think it's a story about that kind of thing and how when you're young, when you're ignorant, you have like this blissful view on the world, and when you see reality and you notice that things that you do can be wrong, can be bad and harmful, that's when you look at reality and it actually becomes more of a harsh, thorny kind of bush. Giggity. Hold on. But no, seriously, guys, I think that was probably the original intention of the people that wrote the story. That it was a mythical story that shared truths about the human condition, and for this guy to be ignorant about what the original Bible or the many interpretations that Christians have, and to be arrogantly saying, well, if you're a Christian, then you either discount science or you gotta believe you discount science or you gotta get rid of the belief, and that's not necessarily true. I mean, you're gonna have a rough time talking to a lot of Christians because that's simply what they don't believe. So let's continue the video.
Making points, addressing them as
You
questions,
said you
and not
wanted to
giving me
have a
the chance
civilized
to actually
conversation.
answer them.
Now you said you wanted to have a civilized conversation.
Yes, but
Did you?
it's just like you're talking to yourself right now.
Yeah.
But
No,
what
it's
I'm trying to
not. I'm
listen,
trying to talk to you, and you are
you
doing
gave,
everything
yes,
you can
and
to avoid it.
nope. You addressed the
Hold
point,
on.
and I'm responding. And I asked you a question. Can a man, human being, walk on water? Yes or no?
What does that have to do with any damn thing?
I'm going to get to that
Bro.
part if you just answer the question. Can a human being walk on water? Yes or no? Just a yes or no question.
Unless you're doing a parlor trick, no.
No. No trick. No. A human being, that is if you go that goes against science. That goes against life, nature, laws. No human being can walk on
Are you
water.
kidding? Magicians do it, like in Las Vegas.
Magicians don't walk on water. If you're arguing that magicians can walk on
Yeah,
water,
they
at your
do
point, just
tricks.
believe in God. Because okay,
Do what now?
second, if you're
Why are you
arguing,
avoiding the point?
well, I'm not avoiding the point. I'm addressing it,
Yes,
but you're
you
not
are.
letting me get
What
to
does
it.
anyone have? What does walking on water have to do with anything?
Let me get to the
Are
point.
the
Let me
things
wait,
in the
John
book
Mock.
he
the
Hey,
he
things
hey.
that
just
we should attribute to the god?
Yes, but John Mock, could you give me a chance to address your
So if
point?
the
Because
things
I'm
are
doing it,
not
John Mock.
true,
John Mock, I'm addressing your
stop
point.
calling me John Mock. You just
Okay, I
call me
won't call.
Rayne.
why is he getting mad? Like, Stop calling me John Locke, bro. Like, I don't know what to say, but this guy's like rude as
Hey,
hell.
John. Okay, John. Listen here, John. I want you to give me a
Hey,
chance to
what's
speak,
your
John.
name, Warrior of God?
Where forgot. Now, John, I want you to answer me
What's your
really
name?
quick. My name is Where forgot. That's what
No,
I
it's not.
want
Look,
to
look.
like to be addressed
Why
as. But
can't you just be honest?
I am, but you're
What?
not giving me a chance
No, you're
to,
not. You're doing everything you can to avoid the point that I've made.
No, Mr. John Locke, you're doing everything you can to distract about the things that he's trying to answer your question. I think you're just trying to like poo poo all over everything he says and be like, ha ha, I won. I disproved God. And it's like, bro, you like, if you don't let him talk, you might as well just talk to yourself, bro. He got that absolutely right. He's talking to a wall. He's not letting this guy talk. He asked this guy a question. He says, what does walking on water have to do with anything? He'll answer you if you let him, but the moment he starts talking, you immediately cut him off. So, bro, you gotta like learn to control yourself.
Because
nope.
you know the point that I've made is that your religion is ridiculous.
No. The point, no. The
Yes.
reason why I'm not getting to your point,
Why
it,
should we believe the God is real when
I
the
will give,
things
wait,
that
hold on.
are
We
attributed
can't,
to the God are false?
right. So you're addressing many
Why?
points, right? But
Yeah.
we got to
No,
get to
I'm
one at a
not. I'm
time.
addressing one point. What
Yeah,
should
you're
we
addressing
keep?
one point. I wanted to go
Should
back to
we
the,
keep demonstrable
Dude, let him
reality or
talk.
should we keep the story from an old book when they
should
are
I get,
contradictory?
we should get, well, hold on. See, you got to let me answer this, okay?
Jeez.
So back to what I was telling you, because I'm getting to that point. But the reason why my point may not sound valid is because it sounds like it's not the point that you're looking for. And just listen, hear me out. So I answer the question. A man can't walk on water. Can a donkey talk? Just yes or no, can a donkey talk?
No.
No.
No. Can a
Okay.
global flood
Neither do
happen?
snakes.
Can a global flood
No, a
happen?
global flood
No, a
cannot
global
happen.
flood can a man
Okay.
intentionally rise from the grave and ascend
See, I haven't watched the rest of the video, so now I'm really interested where he's going with
into
this.
heaven?
Because you don't usually hear Christians saying that those things can't happen. So let's see.
Whoever intentionally did that. Do
Okay.
you think
Now
Jesus
listen now
rose himself from the dead?
yes.
Even in the
Now
Bible, it took God to raise him.
wait, we'll get to that, but I just want you to address those
No, we
questions.
won't.
That can't happen.
I'm
No, we won't. What do you mean?
I'm quite sure, based on your responses, that you do
Actually,
not know the Bible.
What responses, bro? He's asked you a couple questions and you haven't even given him a chance to answer yours, dude. Like, come on.
scientifically, scientifically, even though our biology cannot get
You
to
don't know anything about science.
Well, how do you know that, dude? What? You don't know anything about science, maybe. I mean, that's a possibility, but you certainly don't know anything about manners.
science not my expertise. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend that something is my
You
expertise
don't
when they're
have
not.
any expertise in anything.
I have an
Bro, actually, from the beginning, he said the Bible is not a science textbook. So, I mean, I want to see where he's going, where Warrior for God is going with this. The Bible's not a religious text, and the things that are described in the Bible are not things that can physically happen, as far as we know. So, I want to see what he says.
expertise in serving God.
But
But
this
I
guy
want to
won't let
get
him.
to this
No,
before you hold on. Before you say
no.
anything, hear me
Why?
out.
Why
So
are you believe?
we
Mr.
established
John
that, and
Locke,
I'm even agreeing
please.
with you. A donkey can't talk. A man can't walk on water. A global flood can't happen. We know that. Okay,
So
because on
we know that everything in the
research
Bible is
shows that
nonsense.
research shows that two people can create a generation of people, but errors may occur.
There they are.
Like
Adam and
genetic
Eve.
and things like that. That's true.
No,
It comes with impossibilities. You can do research
no.
on this, but we
You
know that
don't know what you're
snakes can't
talking
talk.
about.
Wait, hear me out.
Stop it.
Snakes can't talk.
Stop it. Stop it.
I mean, that snake right there is talking, so I mean, that might be a little disproof of your religion, Mr. Warrior for God. I mean, that snake right there, Mr. John Locke, is doing a lot of effing talking. I ain't trying to curse on this, I'm trying to be polite and everything.
Snakes can't talk. Global
Stop
floods
it.
can't happen. Donkeys can't talk.
You're
We
just
know.
proving yourself to be a silly person.
Well, actually, if you hear
No,
me out,
not at all.
everything I mentioned,
Why?
a man walking on
Why should
water,
I hear you out? You're just
Why did you come to talk if you didn't want to hear him out, dude? Like talking involves like two things. It involves talking and listening, and there's all that old I don't know if it's Southern, but I'm gonna say it's Southern. That old Southern saying of you know, you got one mouth and two ears because you need to listen more, or some shit like that. Oops, sorry, I said. Well, I don't know. Some people consider that a bad word. Some people don't.
because
Uh,
it's
Spouting
I've had
rational.
some
nonsense.
weird
No, actually,
No,
if
situations.
you
it's
just
not. It's
if you
absolutely
listen,
irrational and illogical.
Use
my
your
sir,
ears,
I'm
bro.
praying for you, John, because if you just
Bro, how your ears long but you hear wrong? John Locke, like listen, bro.
No,
take the prideness out of your heart and just
don't
don't say nothing. No,
don't
no, no, no,
you babble
no,
Yeah.
to your
John, John,
imaginary friend on my behalf.
John. If
Just
you
stop
just,
it.
my friend, if you
No,
just
Bro.
sit there and just, I just want you
no,
to think. No, John,
no.
John, hear me out because I heard
I just want you to think. No. Like, bro, come on.
what you said and I acknowledge your point, but you got to hear me out too. No matter
What is
how
my point?
goofy your point, you made a
If
good
you
point.
acknowledge my
What should
point,
we
then what
follow?
is
But
my point?
hold
Yeah,
on,
goof.
John, we're
You
switching
acknowledge
too
my
fast.
point,
John,
Yeah.
you just said that you
John,
acknowledge my point.
John,
Did you not?
John.
Uh-uh.
I do, but
You
what,
just said you acknowledge my point. What is it?
you made a couple of points.
Mm-mm.
What
What is my
should we
point
follow
that you
genetics?
said you acknowledge?
Should we follow genetics? Should we follow the Bible? Which one?
I
You
didn't
made an
say should
interesting
we
point.
follow
Yeah, he's trying to
genetics.
answer it,
No,
bro.
you
I
Come on.
said
said,
which one should
do
we
we
follow?
throw
And
out demonstrable reality or
mm-hmm,
do we throw out a
exactly.
story
That's
from
what
an
you said.
old book?
Now I'm getting to your point. I'm trying.
So are
Okay,
you not going to answer it?
I'm answering it, but you have to listen to me. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So
This
we
is a
already
very
established a
easy, very
donkey.
easy question.
Everything we established so far, a donkey can't talk, a man can't walk on water, a global flood can't happen. All of these are miracles in the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
right? We know that's true. Now, logically, all of that stuff is impossible. And as a Christian, I'm admitting it's impossible. But why? The whole point of a miracle is something outside of nature, and that's a fact. Many
Ah.
Right.
scientists don't even try to go
So
listen.
what you're
Hey,
saying
listen,
is
listen,
that the
listen.
very point of
Nope, that's
everything
not
is
what I'm
that it's
saying.
not
I'm
real.
saying even scientists
You're
admit this.
saying it's
They
not
don't even
real.
listen. Excuse me. Nope. What I'm saying is
No,
not even
that's
scientists
what you
admit.
just said. Is
No,
anything that's
that's not what.
outside of nature
Oh,
is not real.
nope. That's not what I'm claiming. I'm not saying miracles aren't real, but I'm saying a miracle is something that doesn't respond with our nature. For example,
Mm.
a miracle is miraculous. It's divine intervention. Scientists themselves even admit. Wait, hold on. Hey,
Say
Dude,
John.
come
listen
on.
Scientists
to
them.
me.
He's been having
Right?
to repeat himself
Stop.
so many
You just
times, dude. You're
spouting
not letting him
nonsense.
talk.
Nope.
You just
Bro, stop spouting nonsense. But like, if he like, what if he just responded to you that way? You atheist, stop spouting nonsense. Like, how would you react, man? You're not addressing what he's actually saying. You're just telling him to shut up. That is not right, man. I'm gonna come down there and do, man. Bro, I do not like people like this representing me as an atheist because then I get hate from Christians acting like, oh, you are so aggressive, you're all so angry. Yeah, I'm gonna be angry, but I'm gonna be angry at my side when they do stupid effing bullshit like this, bro. I'm telling y'all, man. Bro, y'all gonna get an elbow to the chest or something, bro. I'm telling you.
just said a
Scientists,
miracle is miraculous.
right?
What is that supposed to mean?
It's okay. We got my words mixed up there. A miracle is something that does not go with our nature. Scientists admit you
Mm.
can't
What
scientifically
does that
listen.
mean?
It does. It goes against. Dude, do you research on miracles, man? Even scientists admit that they don't even go to try to prove a divine miracle or even try to prove God
Do you know
because
why?
that is something outside of nature.
Do you know
Science
why?
studies things in nature. Science can't study why you love your family.
Why
Studies
don't
can't study
scientists
Uh,
can't
try to prove miracles?
Science can't because it's something
Why?
that's not of our nature. It's not that it's
No.
not
Do you
real
know why
because
science
okay,
doesn't try to
God
prove things?
mm,
because it's
Do you
not
know
real.
why?
That's your argument, right?
No, because science doesn't prove things.
that
Science
that that he finally made a valid point. Let's see.
does not prove anything.
It doesn't?
That's not how science works.
Nah, no. But
You
scientific evidence can be used for
Mm,
something. So, okay. So if science don't prove anything, does the
do you
scientific
know what the
evidence for certain
scientific method is?
what is it? Elaborate. Enlighten me.
You know how it starts?
How
What's
does
the
it
first
start?
part of the scientific method?
Enlighten me.
You make an observation.
Right?
yeah.
Right. So, do
Mm-hmm.
you have an observation for any type of God?
They
Give me an
believe they
example of
do.
what you mean by observation.
No, no, no. We're going to
Explain.
try
You
and
got
see
to
if we can just.
explain.
Do you have any observation for God?
Do you mean observation as observate
Anything.
something?
Have
All right, they're getting hung up on the whole what it means to observe. It's like the wind. Just because you can't see it, it doesn't mean it isn't there. Look, man. Let me like try to short circuit this, but he's the atheist guy. He's got a point when it comes to science doesn't prove things. It doesn't say this thing is absolutely true. It tries to make the best, make the best claims, the best sort of explanations, but with the caveat that more evidence could change what is believed to be true about the universe. And so it's about being able to replicate like a certain if you have a claim that water will rise at this temperature and you're able to reproduce that sort of claim, then you have something going there. And there might be variables that you discover later on that, hey, maybe it needs to be this much air pressure in the room, or I don't know, man. I ain't a scientist for a good reason. I'm telling you, if I was a scientist, I'd be making bombs or something, to fuel our American patriotic energy. Like we gotta serve our country. We gotta make them nuclear fission bombs to power our country, and we gotta support the U.S. military complex. Right? Is that like my sufficient quota to spout Mr. Trump's BS so that I can be allowed to speak in this country, guys? Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, anyways, I ain't a scientist, but I'm just saying that, things like tectonic, when it comes to evolution, there was tectonic, a certain transitional fossil that, there was a animal species, and we were trying to find out, hey, is this theory about how they, or this hypothesis about how these animals evolved into this other animal, and we didn't have those transitional fossils, but the scientists knew that, hey, if this dinosaur lived in this time period, then we need to dig in this type of area this deep to find the right rock layer so that we can uncover their transitional fossils. And they made that prediction, and they were able to test that prediction, and the result of that prediction is tectonic, a transitional fossil of an incredibly unique dinosaur, and or not dinosaur, it's ancient, amphibious weird creature, and that's the way that science kind of works. I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm being long winded up in here, but like, let's see what these
Like
people have to say because this
evidence?
video is
observe
already long
a
enough.
God in
Do we have
any way?
evidence for a God?
Do you have an observation
By,
for
by
any kind of
observation,
God?
but I want you to elaborate. By observation, are you referring to evidence?
No. What the fuck is an observation, man?
Hey, dude, chill out. Look, I know
Yeah.
you
I'm
can't.
very
Wait.
chill. This
All right, all right. I
No,
see
you're
what you're saying.
not.
Observation. You can't observe.
no, you
Okay.
don't, obviously.
Oh, yes, I do.
No,
Wait.
okay, okay, yeah, yeah. Now let me get back on track. Yeah, the Christian, like, he's like literal observation, like God appears in the flesh and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm here." Or are you talking about like I had a vision, I had a sort of an imprinted feeling that was calling to me. I had a series of thoughts or dreams that led me to a fundamental life decision, because for many Christians, those are the types of things that count as their observations for God. The feeling of the Holy Spirit and having that direct experience where you feel your body being filled and you have overwhelming sort of presence with you. That kind of feeling is what a lot of Christians refer to as their direct observation. And so, what the Christian guy is trying to ask him is, what does the Christian mean by observations? Because when Christians bring up those observations, Christian atheists will be like, "Well, that's not an observation." What do you mean, bro? Like, they have, everybody has their experiences, and you can't completely discount someone just because you don't like what they're saying. You gotta explore, and those experiences, if you just discount them and you try to say that they're making it up, you can miss out on discovering incredible things about the human mind and what it's capable of. Because when scientists explored those altered states of the human mind, trance-like states in Buddhism and the spirit and Christianity, there is something going on there. Now, whether you call that a god or not, that is an issue that fundamentally falls to you. But for many, like they like if you had just discounted, they're lying. There's nothing there. They're having a literal reaction in their brain that is different from the baseline human patterns, and we don't know what that is. I don't agree that it's a god, but you don't even believe that there's anything there. So like how about you? Like that's what he's talking about when he says you need to research on these things.
Wait, you got to hear
It's
me
an
out really quick.
observation.
Observation, when you observate, right? You can't observate
Observate.
something that's outside of this world, man. Like
Observe.
something outside of this universe.
Okay.
You
Right.
can't detect
You
any
Well, you can't, like, for a long time we had no way of observing microscopic organisms, or what is it, infrared or x-rays, or we didn't even know what the inside of the body looked like a lot of times. And for 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 human beings, I think he's kind of putting the cart before the horse, in the sense that he's at, like, they believe in something that they have felt in some sort of way, but it is difficult to present in the normal ways of presenting. It is not something that can be seen. It's like the wind, or it's like a concept. It's like a dream. It's not something that you can literally have in your hand and show it to people, but it is something that exists. Microorganisms exist, and so. What the Christians and other people of religions are proposing is that God is like one of those things that are visible in some sense, but not in the ways that we have yet uncovered. Now, as an atheist, I would ask, well, if we don't have ways of discovering this or observing this in the same way that we have the wind, because the wind is a tricky thing. The microorganisms are also tricky. We have found ways to discover them. So, is there anything similar for that for your God? And if there isn't, why believe in it? And I would ask that politely and calmly, unlike this guy. And I would love to hear an answer, but I don't think we're gonna get that because this guy just wants to shout and listen to himself talk.
I
anything
mean
outside
things
of this
that don't
universe.
exist.
A divine
You
creator,
can't observe things that don't exist.
that's not
But
true.
that,
Sure, you observe.
well, you don't know what exists or what doesn't until you observe it. Um, so just because you haven't observed something doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
It. That
So,
observe
all right.
something that doesn't exist.
But also, I thought this guy was an atheist, and atheists don't believe that God doesn't exist. They just haven't been convinced that he does. I am completely open to the possibility that there could be a God somewhere under some rock that I haven't checked. Not literally, or maybe literally, but also metaphysically, in the sense that there could be some theory or some explanation that I have never heard and has never been explained to me, but that could explain that. And I would love to hear it. And but to immediately say that there isn't one is a bit
That doesn't, what do you mean? I don't have to,
beyond
wait. Explain
beyond me.
something. Something that we observe. I want you to give me the exact definition of something we observe.
Well, I don't know about that.
I'm not going to turn away from it. I don't want to look up the exact definition word. Yeah, to
Yeah,
like
yeah, whatever.
trying to
I'm
think
getting a
of
little
what
tired of
actual
this, guys. Are
word that
y'all?
you would use to define observation, to examine or to investigate a claim or an instance or something that's happening or a
I think the word investigate derives from I don't remember the language, but basically it was about like a clue. It's like hold on, let me look it up actually. Let me see if I can find that. Got my phone right here. Hold on, let me see. Let's see, investigate. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. Investigate etymology. So, trace out, track. Let's see. Hold on. Where's the etymology thingy? Here it is. Etymology dictionary. It is to trace out, figuratively search into, vestigare, to track, trace from vestigiant, vestigium, footprint track, right? So a footprint, like if you have a footprint of a deer, you haven't observed the deer, but you've found a clue, like something, you found a print that could lead you to the belief that there is something there. There's something there, and that's all that I think Christians are saying. And I think when they say like, "Hey, we have this paw print, we have this clue that we believe is a god," instead of addressing that, atheists would just like be like, oh, or at least I don't know about atheists. I certainly don't do that. This guy, I don't even know. Are you an atheist? Are you a real atheist? No true atheist fallacy. But nah, for real, because this guy over here talking about, like I see them a lot say that, that doesn't count as an observation, or that doesn't count as evidence. And Matt Dillahunty actually, he's right over here. Actually, I have him right here. He's looking really angry or excited or happy. I'm not sure. That's kind of a strange little expression there. But but he's actually been very good at addressing this, that there is anecdotal evidence, and whether anecdotal evidence is enough to believe in a god, he's also been pretty honest when it comes to that, where it's if somebody has a personal experience, that may or may not be enough to convince them, because there's still the possibility that it could be advanced technology or an altered state of mind. But even if it could prove to them, like personally, if they're not able to share it with someone else, it's still not good enough evidence. And that's something that I think that the atheists should be better at communicating, instead of just discounting what Christians believe to be clues, to be paw prints of God.
happening, I suppose. You like if you can you make an observation? Can you see something that's going on and can you report about a
But
god
wait,
in
does
any
it
way?
mean that we cannot directly observe God with our physical sense? That does not necessarily
No,
mean
it
that
doesn't
he
have
isn't
to be.
real.
It doesn't have. You,
How?
okay, okay. I'm going to make an observation about the belief in God. I,
This is like the definition of missing the forest for the trees. The guy's like this tree is an evidence for the forest, and he's like ignoring the rest of the forest around him, or something like that. I mean, like at least that's how it would be from the Christian perspective. Is that like that he when they try to show one singular piece of their belief for God, atheists will discount it. And sometimes atheists aren't wrong when it comes to discounting certain pieces of their evidence. I certainly don't agree with everything, but uh in from their point of view, they're showing you a lot of different things, and because you reject like this tree, that tree is not the forest, that tree is not the forest, that tree is not a forest, that's just a tree. It's like, bro, but you've like seen a couple things now. You're literally missing the forest for the trees. So
I
let's see.
observe that people believe in gods. In
From my point of view, I don't even like arguing about this kind of stuff anymore, whether it's true or not. I want to argue about which versions of Christianity are more beneficial to humankind at this particular moment, where we have a stifling of free speech. We got children still starving in the year 2025. For those of y'all watching in the future, we're stuck down here in the primitive times of 2025, and children are still starving. The government is still poisoning poor black and brown neighborhoods at a higher rate than white neighborhoods. We got this disgusting president that has done despicable things to many of his victims. We've seen them try to speak out against them, and he's silencing them. They're trying to get them files released, and they ain't releasing them. I don't want to get too sidetracked, but we got some real issues. We got wars popping up. We got famine, hunger. We got sicknesses that are spreading because we don't got people believing in science. In science. So maybe that's kind of the thing that I want to talk about. Like, forget about whether this story is true or not, but I want to talk about whether how do we get Christians that believe in those good things, that we gotta promote democracy, that we gotta promote the ending of hunger for people across the world. We got to prevent wars. And if we can find Christians that agree with us on those values, I don't care. They can believe what they want. But I just need people that are strong allies in this pivotal moment of human history.
many various shapes
I
and
don't.
forms, right?
Right?
Do we agree on that? That's an observation that we can both agree on, right? And we would be able to design like a test so that we could make a hypothesis about that observation, and then we could test that hypothesis, right?
Right.
And then we wouldn't prove that hypothesis. We would either reject that hypothesis or we would fail to reject that hypothesis.
Right. But here's the thing.
Right.
Doesn't mean we
Right.
can't
So
observe
this
it.
is
That
what my
doesn't
point
mean
was.
it's not
Science doesn't
real.
prove things. You
But
Let
then,
him
either
talk.
reject or you fail to reject.
okay, all right.
Right. So
So
when
science,
we
so
look
science
at
can't
these
show
things about
evidence.
God,
Wait, so you're saying science can't show evidence of anything?
sure, you can show
So
evidence
science
of
can't
lots
show
of.
evidence of anything?
I didn't say that.
You said sure.
I said science
But you
doesn't
said science just
prove
doesn't prove
things.
anything.
Right. Science doesn't work in proofs. You
That's
see,
not what
That
I
that's
was
that's a
what it
math
claiming. But
thing.
proves.
but wait, but that doesn't mean science
No,
can't
you see,
though,
you've already said that science is not your expertise,
This
and
is
right?
obviously the Bible is not your expertise either. Okay, but listen,
that's pretty insulting, dude. Like you gotta be more
if you don't
respectful.
understand science,
You don't gotta
how
make
Yeah.
in
personal
the
attacks.
world are you trying to refute it?
I never refuted science. Who said I was? Who said I was
You're
refuting
well. Why
science?
are you saying that the Bible's real and science is wrong and
I
science
never said.
can't
Wait,
prove
wait.
this and
Tell me
that?
when.
What?
Could you quote me where I
What?
ever said science was
Yeah,
false and wrong?
I've shown pretty much this whole bit. I mean, I skipped ahead a little bit, but God bless. This man is
Dude, you
making
have
up
over
things. You know,
2,000.
I understand that you're an atheist and you don't believe that a God told you that it's a sin to lie, but it's still not a nice thing to lie. You know, even if you don't believe in a God.
Videos on your page.
Did I ever say
Like,
science
I'm
was
not going
wrong?
to go through and quote every single thing that you've
Because
said.
no,
Like,
you can't quote any.
the things
No,
that you say are so outlandishly wrong.
right? But I think here's something I want to tell you. You
Was
won't
that
do
an
it because you
admission that
can't do
everything
it.
you say is wrong?
Because I know in none of my videos I ever said science was false. I use science in my videos. If you even read the description of my channel, I mention it.
Yeah,
I never
misrepresenting
in my
things that you
video.
read does
Nope,
not make
I
it
never did
okay.
that. Mm-mm. Now,
How?
I want to
Oh,
hear your
oh.
point,
Well,
but
okay. Why does the description of your
Hmm.
channel say that you're a, what does it say, a theologian or a what does it say?
I never said
I
I was
can't
a
even remember.
theologian.
No, what does it say? What does the description on your channel say?
My description said
Oh,
my
you said
channel
you're a scholar.
specific.
It says you're
Hmm.
a scholar, right?
Right?
What
Why is he talking like that? It says you're a scholar, right? Bro, calm
what
down,
school did
man.
you go to?
Look, let me handle the sass, and you can sit your ass down. You know what I'm talking about?
What do you mean? What school did I go to?
Oops,
What does
Wait,
scholar mean?
you're moving
hold
off
on.
of the whole
Let me
conversation.
rewind.
Did I go to?
What does
Wait,
scholar mean?
you're moving off of the whole. What do you
What?
mean? What school did I go to?
What school did you go to?
What do you mean? What school did I go
Bro,
to?
he's still in
What is
Wait,
school, I
scholar?
think.
you're moving off of the whole conversation we're having.
No,
You're
I'm
moving
not. My
left. You're
whole
saying, wait,
conversation is that you're full of shit, bro.
see, man, that's
You're
not
not a
right, man.
scholar. You're not a
That's
scholar.
that's not right,
You're a
man.
liar.
That's not right, man. That's
And the
not
book you believe in is a book of lies and deceit.
right. So you said my book is a book of lies and deceit, and here's
And
the thing.
you're
Wait,
okay with lying because you
nope.
What?
believe
Let
in
me get.
No.
lies.
Excuse
You're
me,
okay
John
with
Mark.
lying.
Can I say something, man? Just let me say
I
something.
don't really care.
You came on here
You
I,
call
to make
yourself
up.
a
yeah, we can tell that you don't care about what the other person in the conversation has to say. You know, that's very clear to us, Mr. John Locke, the serpent from the Garden of Eden. We don't like you.
lawyer
Point.
for
Or
God.
I don't
No,
like.
Wait,
I
he
mean, I'm
but
just
sorry.
believes lying for the cause.
I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all can call me rude, but I mean, I'm only rude to people that are rude first. You know, I'm just giving it back. You know.
nope.
You're not a scholar.
Yep.
You don't like dabble in theology.
Okay.
You're a child.
Yep. I know I
You
am.
don't know what you're talking about.
I
Wow, wow, dude.
know what I'm talking about.
Let me have a debate with
Really?
this guy.
Can
Then
I say
why
something?
does genetics not comport with the Bible?
Why does genetics not
The
comport with the
Bible says
Bible?
that we were made from mud and that women come from a rib.
Nope.
How?
The Bible doesn't
Okay,
say that.
what?
The Bible says, hold
What?
on, let's fix that. The Bible says the first man and woman in history to ever begin came from that. But
The
the
Bible
people
says that
following
Adam
no,
and
no, no, no,
Eve
no.
are the mother and father of us all.
Yes, but we don't come from mud. We come from processes, birth. The Bible even admits it. You know, sperm cell, egg cell. The Bible even says that. But the first people won't
What
come from
the
sperm cell and
Bible
egg
says
cell.
nothing about sperm cells and egg cells.
The
You do
Bible
not
does
know
mention
a
sperm.
thing about what you're talking about.
Yes, I do. The Bible doesn't specifically mention
No,
a
you
sperm.
do not.
Okay, excuse me, Jama. The Bible doesn't say, "Oh, a sperm will hit the egg cell and then someone will be created." But the Bible
Yeah.
mentions
Right.
stuff.
Then why
The
did you
Bible
just
gives us
say that it
stories.
talks about the sperm cell and the egg cell?
The
Why
Bible
did you
doesn't
just lie on the
specifically.
book?
Hold on. The
Why
Bible.
did you just lie on the book?
I didn't lie.
Sorry, guys.
Why?
I'm over
The
here.
Bible.
Lie to me
I didn't
again.
lie.
I'm supposed to be reacting, but I'm just stunned by how rude and
The Bible. It's clear
random
that
this
the biblical
atheist
Why
authors
is.
knew
would
the
you
pro.
invite me onto your live stream just
Because he actually is interested in what you have to say, unlike you.
to lie to me?
I didn't lie.
You lied to me. You lied to me, bro.
I see. I see what's happening. So you
Yeah.
came on my stream
Mhm.
to make
No.
interest. No, no, no. Hold on, hold on. I invite you onto
Yeah.
my stream.
Yeah.
You joined on to make
Let him
some
cook.
points, but you won't let me address those points. So you just came here to state quote unquote
He came here to
facts,
preach.
but not hear the other side. That's irrational. That's something a child
I
would do.
I asked you a
Nuh-uh. That
Yeah.
is
question,
not
you
what
avoided.
adults are supposed to be responsible. They're supposed to,
Yeah.
according to you,
How old is he, bro?
according to life, bro, according to anything, adults are
What are
leaders.
you
They
doing?
respect.
Why are
Hold on.
you crashing on your own stream?
No,
No, you're crashing out. What are you, bro? I'm gonna, bro. One of these and one of those. What I'm talking about. You want to talk about crashing out, bro? I'm gonna crash the fist into your teeth. Nah, I'm just playing. That's not the Christian way. You gotta offer peace and everything. Gotta offer the other cheek. But nah, dude. Let me explain to you. Like what had happened in this stream here, this conversation that they had, is that the Christian warrior for God handled himself with class. He was polite. He asked questions. He tried his best to answer the questions that this guy asked. And the other guy was rude. He was belittling and insulting, unnecessarily so, just adding ad hominems, And I have a lot of problems with a lot of the things that different religions say, but when you're having a conversation with Christians, you also got to know what their particular beliefs are because not all Christians agree on the same things. And what I'm trying to do, and what I see a lot of times, is that atheists just want to throw all Christians in a bag and throw them away. And right now, that clearly isn't a strategy that's working. Like we got a horrific being, an antichrist, a white devil sitting on the throne of the United States right now, corrupting the land like Lion King with Scar and everything. He's even a different shade than all the other lions. He's orange and like we all regular color. And we trying to get rid of this man, and we're trying to do the best that we can to endure during these tough times when a false version of their religion is beginning to be spread, a brand new one that puts Jesus second and Trump first. And I'm trying to find those Christians right now and find the ones that are true believers in peace and justice and settling disputes. No more wars, no more hunger. That type of thing that they talk about, that heaven. I'm trying to make that happen now. And I'm trying to find those Christians that believe that this can happen now, that if we treat each other with love and kindness, we can have that happen right now. And I don't want to, those are the people that are on my side. People that are rude, people that are hateful, people that belittle others. That's not a good thing. So let's
no,
continue
I'm
this.
not.
I don't
What
I
I'm
don't know how
saying
long.
is adults
You
are
are
supposed to be
crashing
role
out so
models.
hard.
Yeah,
Excuse
You
me,
are
hold
Mr.
on.
John.
crashing.
No,
Adults
I don't know how much more
are
of this I
supposed
can
to be.
take.
So
Stop.
everyone on stream
Stop.
sees that you're swearing at a child, man, and you won't
Yeah,
even let no one get
Stop.
to their point. This
Stop,
is
yeah.
sir.
not
No,
rational.
no, no. He wanted to bring up the whole "you're a child" thing. You wanted to bring age into this. So you're an adult and you're swearing at a kid, bro. Come on,
Man. You
Now
didn't
that's
even get me a
enough.
point. Nah,
that's
man.
enough.
I'm sorry. We'll have to get him off stream. Let's get this straight, everybody. So he went on the stream, right?
Yeah,
He went onto this stream.
yeah. That's actually, dude. He quit talking to this guy at the same point that I would because that was terrible, guys. Let's listen a little bit more, I guess.
He started swearing. He got
Yeah,
upset. He got upset. He
you're
wouldn't let me
lying.
address my point. So you see that he's so what he was doing was He addressed his argument, but didn't let anyone to start a vote with his
Yeah, yeah.
while
Well, wait,
they
what?
speak and swear at them. Bolt will swear to know
All right.
that
I don't
there
think.
are people, children, that knows how to rationalize and speak in civil conversations, and
Mm-hmm.
there's adults
He lost his
that
mental.
swear, don't know how to speak, and gets upset when someone tries to explain and give their point of
And that's what the image that you project of atheism to other people. Y'all are people that just curse at kids, that don't want to hear what they have to say. Hey, I'm right, you're wrong, and that's the end of story. Close the book and everything. That doesn't give a good image. That's not a winning message that we're sending. And I'm trying to keep myself from yelling and cursing and everything and doing the same kind of thing. I'm trying to keep my mental. But man, it really makes me mad because we got some serious problems going on right now. We need to be perfect. We need to be precise. We need to be Neji with we need to be Shikamaru fighting Hidan and everything, and using all our tools and everything, all of the tools in our toolkit. And we got people over here rushing blindly, or like big old Choji just rushing in like, "I'll help you, Naruto." It's like, nah, dude, you're not helping, bro. You're about to get yourself clapped. So, this is the end of the video. I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. It really makes me mad seeing people represent my beliefs like this, or my lack of beliefs. So, until next time, this has been Rayne, and I don't know what I'm gonna name this. I don't know what kind of series this is gonna be, but I just had to make a reaction to this because this was absolutely wretched. Warrior for God, please subscribe to his channel. He's really nice. He's really cool. He's really thoughtful. I've seen in some of his videos, he's got a lot of Christian theology books on his shelf. I would love to share mine when I get the chance as well. I got a lot of books that I want to share. But until next time, this has been Rayne. Have a great time, guys. Bye.
I know what God thinks. God thinks you're a waste of flesh. Oh, God prefers an atheist. Oh, God thinks all people like you are hateful. God thinks all people like you are an embarrassment to creation. Self-righteous, judgmental, first to throw a stone, and using his name for your own protection.